Next, we will going to see the difference between C and C++. As you can see here so far, we have review on how to use C, right, in different topics, loop, functions, array, and pointer. Okay. So next, we're gonna look at how C and C++ is different. We can learn the syntax of C++. So in here, as you can see, we can have differences by looking at this slide. It gives you many important information. For example, extension of C is .c, but if you want to create a programming file C++, you can put the extension in the form of .cpp. Okay, this is the name of the function of the extension. So I'm gonna highlight on that .cpp. So remember this. So if you use C, now you see CPP. Okay. And also in the command output and input, right? In C programming, you use command printf to get to display information on screen, and you use the command scanf, and other that you can get input from keyboard. Okay, and then you need to use placeholder like %d, %f, %c, or %s. Okay, to get different type of value. However, in C++, it's very simple. You can use command cout and cin. Okay, cout is used like you use printf. Cin is used to get input. Okay, like you use scanf in C. But yes, but the syntax is very simple. You don't need to provide placeholder anymore. Okay, you will see it in the next following slide. And considering on the variable types, this is primitive type. You have integer, float, character, sequential character, and boolean, true or false. And in C++, it also have this kind of variable. In addition to this, it also have a variable called string. Okay, so you don't need to use sequence or array, sequence or character anymore, which before you use in C. You need to put a char and then put bracket, right? Represent the sequence of array of character. But now you don't need that. Okay, you can use string. It's very straightforward, very simple. Because in array of character, you cannot assign value to it directly. You need to use some command like string cat or string copy in order to set value to the string, to the variable that is the type of char array or array of character. But for string, you can assign value string directly to that variable. It's very easy. So comparing with C and C++, C is developed by Dennis Ritchie during this year, while C++ is an extension of C and developed by Bijan Strustrup in 1979. So normally C is a subset of C++. And we can say that C++ is a superset of C, which means that for code C++, you can write the code C inside. For example, the file is created as extension.cpp. You can write C statement inside. Okay. Just for example, if you want to use printf, you just include it. Yes. But for C file, if you have a code file, the naming and something, and then you have extension.c, you cannot write any command that belong to C++. Okay, this is the meaning. So normally C cannot run C++ code, but C++ code can run. C++ can run most of the C code because it is the superset, right? It means it have many features, many functionalities than C. So in C, it supports procedural programming paradigm only for code development, while C++ it also include the object-oriented programming. Okay. So this is called a hybrid language. It integrates the object-oriented programming. You can create a class, you can create object from that class, and then you can use the OOP concept, okay, object-oriented concept. Okay, this is give you the structure of C++ programming. So very simple. You have the header like C, but you use the name IOStream. Okay, you don't put stdio anymore. And the file name that you store is .cpp. Okay, remember that. And beneath this line, okay, this is so important. If you don't put this, you cannot use cout or cin. but you need to use std in front of it, std double colon, and then you can type cout. You can do that, but it's very busy sometimes, right? If we need to write std again and again, it's very confusing sometimes. So you just put a statement using namespace std, okay? And then every time you want to do cout or cin, just type that command. No need to type std double colon in front of it. Okay? And then you have this symbol, double less than symbol, and then you have the message that you want to display. Okay? So very simple. Either you have a variable, you can just add more this symbol, and then you can put the variable. Okay. Just the disadvantage, we cannot format it using cout. And next, we will take a look on the example how the code C and C++ is different. As you can see here, this is the include. You use stdio. In C++, you use iostream. And you have this line to include the namespace. So in here you use the array of character, right? So in this program, we're gonna ask a name from the user and then display the greeting message to the user on screen. So in here, as you can see that we use string command. Okay, use string because in C++ it has string variable type. Okay. So in here you're gonna ask some information. So in C, you need to use command printf, and now you just use cout. Okay, be careful with this symbol. Okay, for cout you use double less than symbol. For cin, which is used to get input, you use double less than symbol. Double greater than symbol. This is greater than, right? So in here, right, you don't need to remember what is the placeholder. You need to use the ampersand, not anymore like in C, because in C++ you just put cin and then the variable name, right? It's very simple. And in case you want to display it out, okay, in C you may need to use the placeholder again, right? Display variable value. And in C++, you can just continually add the symbol here. In cout, you put more and more. Okay, if you want to have many information, so the line here gonna be long. Okay, if you have many variables and text combining together, as I have mentioned earlier, it's hard to manage the format output if you have too complicated forms using a cout. Anyway, you can use the printf, right, inside. Even although you use code C++, you can write command printf inside here. Just you need to include stdio on top of it. Okay? That's it. Okay, so far I hope you are so good and you can understand about it. So now let's go into the tools a little bit to discuss and how we use the C++ here. So I'm gonna stop the slide here and then we come back to the code. So we close this one. Get a new file. So in here I say test C++. Okay, so the extension, remember, is .cpp. Okay, if you don't put .cpp, it will automatically consider this file as C programming. Okay, if although it has C++ here, it's gonna be C programming. Okay, don't forget to put .cpp. Otherwise, when you run, you put iostream, it does not recognize that. So now, this is becoming a CPP. This is the C++ programming. So next step, we're going to create the template structure of C programming, right? By using the include iostream, using namespace, and then we have a man command, right? To which that we can use inside the main program. Okay, so I'm going to zoom it a little bit here using control and mouse wheel. We can increase or decrease the font size. So we're gonna put include here iostream. This is the structure of C++ language using namespace std. Okay, we have main program here. Okay. So let's say I'm gonna display hello world program, very simple. So we use the cout command here with the double less than symbol. Hello world, welcome to C++ programming. Okay. Hello world program, you can put /n here, it's fine. Alright, now you can get the very first program from C++ programming, in which you create a file with the extension .cpp, and then you use the structure of C++ IO stream and using namespace. You use the cout command here. So I'm gonna close this, and then we'll test it a little bit more. As I have mentioned that this line is important. If you don't put this, and when you run the code, you will get some error. Okay? You can run it, and you can check the view perspective. Delete to see the error message below here. It will tell you something. Okay, error cout was not declared in the scope. It does not know cout. It know only std double column cout here, as you can see from the message here. Line 7, cout not recognized, but it know std cout, right? Double column here. This is how the C++ works. If you don't want to put using namespace, you must provide std double colon, right? You see double colon. You can find it nearby the letter L, and then the command cout. This will recognize that. Okay. So this is each time you need to use cout or use cin, you need to put std in front of it. It's very inconvenient, right? And every time you put this. Goodbye. Okay. If you don't put cout, you cannot get the message. Okay. Let's say I put this one, I put only one time here. You cannot run that because every statement needs the std command, right? So now you just put the using namespace on top, and then you don't need this anymore. Okay? Just std will know that. Okay, so this is a very simple thing that you need to remember. Don't forget that. And next, we want to get some information from the user. Let's say I want to put some variable strings. Let's say name. And then we're gonna display information to us a name. Enter your name. And then we're gonna store it cin. And then we have double less greater than symbol here. And put variable name, right? Don't need to remember the placeholder percentage %s, percentage %d, or percentage %f, right? Very easy in C++. Next, we can display the information. Hello. And then we need to provide the variable value, right? You don't need to put inside the printf like before. You can just continually add this symbol to add more information. Hello, and then you pass variable. Okay, and then you want to have some text. Let's say you have this symbol here, and then welcome to advanced algorithm and data structures course using C++. Okay, you're gonna run that. So this is what you will get from the output of program, which asks you to provide some information, right? Because in here at line 13, you use the command cin to get the name, right? So now your program is waiting for your input from keyboard. So I put some name here. Let's say John. Okay, this is what we will get. Okay, hello John. Welcome to the course, right? Okay, using C++. This is what the message will write here. So as you can see, in C++ it's simple. You don't need to use percentage %d, percentage %s anymore. Anyway, for some message, you may need to use printf because this is not really convenient, right? As you can see that if you have many variables to pass into the message, you will have to write many. The line code here is very long, right? So in here, if you want to use printf, you can do that. Okay, just include stdio.h here. So now you are ready to go to use the printf command. Okay, because C++, as you have mentioned, I have mentioned in the slide, C++ is the superset of C. So every code C++ can run, every C++ file can run C code. Okay, you just need to provide appropriate library that it needs. For example, to use printf, you must provide the library stdio. Okay. So now I can say hello, write the same message about percentage s, right? But in this case, remember that this is a string, right? You pass into printf, it may not recognize unless you use character or something. But I think it's work the same, it's fine. Let's say we follow that first. Pass the value name here. Okay, we run it again. Okay, as you can see here, you cannot use, because in C, it does not recognize the string, right? You only know the character, char character, right? Array of character, right? In this case, you did not see the word hello and then name, right? As you can see in here, the first one you display welcome message, and then the line 17, you want to display the name from the variable value using printf command bar. So in here, you can just simply change this one to the array of character. So I'm not gonna change this. If you wanna change it, it's fine. Char names. You put some information here. Let's say you need 25. Run it again. Okay, before run it, you wanna get some enter here to get the space. John. Okay, as you can see now, John is back, right? Because printf command, can recognize array of character, but it does not recognize string. Okay, so now if you put it with array of character, it will okay to use printf. But for percentage d number, it's fine. It will be fine. You can use that. Okay, now I will come back to the slide a little bit before we finish this video. So most of C and C++ are the same. For example, you use if, else for decision making condition. For loop value and do value, the syntax are the same to C. Okay. But for structure, it gives you a more convenient way to create a structure using C++. Before, when you use C, when you create a new structure, you put the keyword struct and then structure name, and then you provide some variable inside, right, that you want to create structure. You can declare, for example, you create 3 or 4 variables inside the structure. And later on, when you want to use this one, this is how you define. The next one you want to use, if you use in C, you need to type the keyword struct again, right, when you declare a variable using struct. But in C++, it's very convenient. You don't need to use the keyword struct again. You just put student, the name here. Let's say the name of the structure is student, and then this is the variable name that you want. Okay, so now here is becoming the types of the new structure. Okay, so I will not go in detail in here. You can explore yourself a little bit more to review your previous lecture and structure. You see the C++ is very convenient. Just it provide many features. It also support the object-oriented programming. You can create class, create object using the inheritance feature inside C++. But we will not cover on that. We'll focus on main data structure. So in the practice, we will have 4 exercise here, and I think everyone can practice using C++ language. It's very simple. The first exercise, you just create a simple program to calculate addition of 2 numbers. Okay. These 2 numbers you need to get input. Okay, use the command cin to get 2 numbers, and finally you sum them together and display on screen using cout command. Okay, that's it. And then in the second example, second exercise here, you get some information from user. Let's say you have 6 major age, and then you display information on screen. And for the third and fourth exercise. You can do that using a loop, which is for loop to sum number from 1 to n, and n here is the input from user. You can get it using cin command. And lastly, for the exercise number 4, you can compute the factorial of number. This is how you find the factorial number, right? You can multiply. Okay, for example, you input letter number 5, then the factorial of number 5 is 1 multiply 2 multiply 3 multiply 4 and 5. Okay. You can use for loop again. Okay, so in here just try to do it using C++ language. And what is different is the structure using include IOStream using namespace, and the rest you just put cin and cout. That's all. There you are ready to go. Also, if you are convenient to use string, it's okay. It's very easy, right? You don't need to pass any bracket and the size of the array of character anymore like C. Okay, so I will stop here. Thank you for your attention.